The biggest challenge of putting the Osaka sequence is the fact that the Japanese team spoke the least amount of English of everybody, but we actually got to spend the most time with them because when we got our feet on the ground here, Koji and his team were already here coming up with ideas. And even when we were in LA, we were sending tapes to Chad and Koji was sending tapes to Chad. So we were all kind of on the same page by the time we got here. Nunchucks are great because they're easy. Usually you have a stick that you hit somebody with, and now you have two sticks that you can hit somebody with, and it kind of just swings, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The hard thing is when you hit somebody with a nunchuck, it bounces back. So getting Keanu to learn what to do with that transfer of energy when it hits, choreography-wise, we like to do contact hits when possible, but also a lot of times we can do picture hits. Just that's not really Chad's style. So being able to put in as many contact hits as we can without it whipping back and hitting Keanu, and being able to get him to control the nunchucks was kind of the big deal. And also, he's not just doing nunchucks; he's doing nunchucks and gun at the same time, and then mixing it with jujitsu at the same time. So it was definitely a learning curve because it's like, how do you put enough nunchucks to make everybody interested and excited, but not too much where it becomes another nunchuck sequence? Working with sumos was great because you don't get to appreciate the power and the magnitude of a sumo fighter until you see them in person. And when they walk into the room, they just fill the space. And you're like, as a fight coordinator, I don't know how I would deal with you as a small person, to be honest. And then they were big teddy bears. They were super sweet to work with. Again, language barrier, so Koji took care of most of that. But when we came in, they were super open to adjustments in terms of camera and choreography, adjusting to help the story and the scene. But they were awesome to work with. They were so cool. 8711 to me is home first and foremost, but even before I got there, they kind of changed the game in how well or how closely stunt teams work with productions, with directors, and they kind of set that style of showing well-built previses, so you almost essentially see the whole scene of a you essentially see the whole action scene or show the director the whole action scene before you shoot it. That way nobody's surprised when you get on set. The one thing you have to understand about Chad is you have to give him options. And a lot of times you'll be wrong, but sometimes you'll be right. Sometimes he just likes options because sometimes he understands that he doesn't always think of the best option. So rather than getting stuck in one way and one thing to shoot, he's like, this is what I'm trying to portray. And then he sees what we come up with. So whether you're wardrobe, hair and makeup, or stunts, or visual effects, special effects, he'll give you a broad description of what he wants, and then on the day he'll change it to whatever he thinks it's actually going to be, because with his actors, when they come in and they change, because sometimes their intentions are different than what he thought, or they bring a different view to the character, we all have to be ready to change for them as well, because again, Donnie threw us a bunch of curveballs that we just had to be ready for. And it can throw some crews off because they want to know exactly what they're shooting before they shoot. But I think once we got the flow of changing with Chad and with Donnie and with Keanu and everybody, I feel like everybody just got better, and all of a sudden we had 5 different options rather than we're only shooting this one thing.